What's up everyone, welcome back once again to your Heroclix headquarters. So today we got some exciting new previews for the next X-Men Rise and Fall set. Wonder Woman hasn't even officially released yet, and we've got an exciting new look at the next set after that, which I'm super excited about. Obviously, huge X-Men fan, so I can't wait for this set. Now this preview is coming to us thanks to Game Trade Magazine, so as always, try to check it out there. I'll try to post links in the description. I don't think they actually have it on their website yet as of me recording this, but we'll see. So these pictures are actually coming to us straight out of the magazine. So if they're a little blurry or hard to see, I apologize. It's the best ones that I could find. So without further ado, let's check them out. So we're going to start off with my favorite Wolverine. Now, like I said, this is kind of blurry right out the magazine, so I can't really make out a lot of the keywords. Looks like maybe Weapon X and X-Men there on the last ones. And yeah, obviously lots of keywords for Wolverine. Now, the main thing here to look at is this new ability called Rally. So before we get into his Rally trait, I want to take a quick look at the back of his card over here, and we can see what Rally is going to do. It says once per roll for each die in a finalized attack roll, and for all characters with a matching Rally die and trait color printed under their trait star. After resolutions, you may choose a friendly character to gain a matching Rally die. Rally trait colors specify which attack type they can gain Rally dies from. Blue from friendly attack rolls, red equals from opposing attack rolls, and green is from all attack rolls. When a character gains a Rally die, place a die with the matching result on their card. Alright, so going back over to Wolverine's trait, it says Rally, and you can see that it's got a red background there with a 5 on the die. It says opposing attack rolls, regeneration. When Wolverine uses it before rolling the d6, you may instead remove his Rally die to use it on the result. So that's really cool. Essentially, anytime an opposing character makes an attack and there's a 5 in their roll, you can actually take it for Wolverine and put it on his card. Or at least put a die with a 5 on his card. I'm not saying to take your opponent's die. But anyway, then when you want to use regeneration with him later, you can choose to use the 5 on his card, that die with the 5 on it, instead of whatever he would roll. So that basically gives you an automatic 3 for regeneration, because currently regeneration is just roll it and heal half the result. And rounding up, that would be 3 still. So that's really cool. An automatic full 3 clicks of healing from regen is really nice if your opponent manages to roll a 5. And besides that, just looking at his dial, he's got a 10 movement with charge, 11 attack with Blade's Claws, 17 with toughness, and a 3 damage with exploit weakness. So really cool dial there. Then he gets some flurry blades exploit at the end. For only 45 points, this is a really solid Wolverine, especially when you factor in there's no more pushing damage, and there's no more, hindering terrain for movement. Just really, really solid Wolverine. Traded regen is really cool, so really loving this Wolverine. Moving on next, we have Colossus. Now, Colossus has the Excalibur, Utopia, X-Force, X-Men, and Armor keywords. Improved movement for blocking terrain is really cool to see on a Colossus. Gotta love that. He's got the Rally trait. Again, this one's red, so it's for opposing attack rolls. And it says, when a Colossus uses Impervious before rolling the d6, you may instead remove his Rally die to use it on the result. So that's really powerful. Having that 5 ready to go for any Impervious roll is super strong. And especially since his special defense power that he has for his entire dial is Impervious, Protected, Outwit. So that's an insanely powerful ability to have for only 75 or 50 points. Really, really cool. Then taking a look at his dial, he starts at 75 points. He's got Charge, 11 attack with Quake, 18 with that defense power, and 4 damage with Empower. Really like the 75 point line. 50 point line's good too. 9 movement with charge, 11 attack with Blade's Claws Fangs, 18 with Impervious Special, and 3 damage with Empower. Now, I'll admit, when I first looked at this dial, I was really confused as to why he had Blades and no Super Strength or anything. And then I was like, oh yeah, Super Strength is benched. So there's not going to be any Super Strength in this set. Very interesting to get a Colossus with Blades. The excuse they put on his card, it says scrap metal. So I don't know if that means metal from his armor or just a piece of scrap metal he finds and starts hitting people with, and instead of, you know, doing extra damage for super strength, it's like cutting them. So I don't know. It's interesting though. I'll give him points for creativity there. I mean, we always get Colossus with super strength and quake, so why not get one with blades? I really like the impervious power, and he's really awesome at both point lines. But moving on, next we have Sabretooth. And it looks like he has the Brotherhood of Mutants, Marauders, Weapon X, Animal, and Monster keywords. He's got the Rally trait again with a red 5 for opposing attack rolls. When Sabretooth uses Blades, Claws, Fangs, before rolling the d6, you may instead remove his Rally die to use it as the result. Blades, Claws, Fangs with a guaranteed 5 if your opponent ever rolled a 5 on one of their attacks. That's insane. He's got Blades his whole dial, and that's pretty much it. Just 11 movement with charge, 12 attack with Blades, 17 toughness, and 3 damage with exploit for 60 points. Brotherhood of Mutants team ability there as well. Really, really cool, solid version of Sabretooth. Like this one a lot. And yeah, I mean, he's got some stealth and regen there at the end too. Really high attack values. Some flurry in the middle. Really cool, man. I just really like that ability to potentially just have a 5 ready to go for when you need it. Especially with all that exploit and flurry, like mad damage potential for 60 points. Now that's the end of our rally characters, but we have a couple more to look at. So, moving on next we have Sentinel. The common number 8 Sentinel. Sentinel armor and robot keywords, as you would expect. So he has a couple of really cool traits. The first one being sideline active. Once during your opponent's turn, if they hit with 3 attacks or 2 attacks made by characters with the X-Men keyword, after resolutions, you may place a number 8 Sentinel from your sideline on click number 1 in your starting area. So you have a couple of these dudes on the sideline. Your opponent hits 3 attacks, you just pop one into your starting area, or only 2 attacks if they all have the X-Men keyword. Just a free extra character, pretty cool. And then another trait that says when Sentinel is KO'd, instead of putting it in your KO area, turn them to their starting line and add them to your sideline. They are still scored. Now this is really, really nice. This really just prevents you from having to have, like, you know, 5 or 6 of this guy. Like, you can get away with probably just 2 or 3, because the way that this would normally work is that he starts on your sideline, and then, you know, he's brought into the game, and then if they kill him, he goes to your KO area, and he has to stay in your KO area, and you can't bring him in because he's KO'd in your KO area, and he's not on the sideline for his trait. But in this case, he goes back to your sideline on his starting click, so you can kind of recycle them over and over, and I think that's really cool. Really nice of them to do that. Really just makes the whole thing easier. So if you do pull like one of these guys in sealed, or even 2, you know, you can just keep popping them in constantly. I think that's gonna be really fun. Only 25 points, only 3 clicks long, 6 range, 2 targets, 10 movement with sidestep, 11 with incapacitate, and a 17 with invulnerability, and giant size. Now don't forget, giant size is going to be granting willpower on a 3 to 6. So this guy has the potential to keep going every single turn and double incapping, you know, 2 of your opponent's characters potentially with an 11 attack, which is pretty awesome. 17 invuln keeps him pretty well protected as well for only 25 points. So I really, really like these Sentinels, and I think I will definitely need to keep a couple of them on the sideline. Now moving on next, we have a look at a super rare figure, and that's Mystique. She's got the Brotherhood of Mutants, Freedom Force, Quiet Council, X-Men, Assassin, and Spy keywords. She's got improved movement for characters and improved targeting, can make range attacks while adjacent to characters. Krakoan Revival trait, so we will definitely see more Krakoan Revival in this next X-Men set. Then she has another trait, Let Me Slip Into Something More Comfortable, Stealth. Mystique modifies defense +1 for each action token on adjacent opposing characters. So that's pretty awesome if she finds herself adjacent to even just 2 characters, one with 2 action tokens and one with 1. That's automatically a +3 to defense, which is pretty insane. Then she has a special on her defense that gives her impervious and super senses and willpower, and it's all protected outwit. So that's really cool to see. Now it is just that defense power that's protected outwit, of course not her whole dial, But Impervious, Super Senses, and Willpower with Protected Outwit is pretty crazy. She's 105 or 55 points. So for 105 points, it does some very interesting things for the Krakoan Revival. I do believe this is the highest point Krakoan Revival we've seen yet. I believe the highest point character with a Krakoan Revival trait in the House of X set was like 90, maybe 95 points. I can't remember off the top of my head. But 105 points is definitely the highest we've seen, so that's just a whole world of other characters that can be revived now from Mystique. Now, for 105 points, she starts out with a 9 movement running shot. She's got, looks like a 6 range double target, 11 attack with Incapacitate, 18 with that Impervious Super Senses special power, and a 3 damage with Outwit. And she's really well defended. I mean, between that protected Outwit defense special, as well as the traded stealth and that +1 defense for the adjacent, all the action tokens on adjacent opposing characters, she's going to be very hard to hit. And one thing I did notice about this Mystique is no shape change. And again, same thing I said with Colossus. I wonder why she doesn't have shape change. Decided to give her Impervious instead. That's pretty crazy. And then I was like, oh yeah, shape change is benched. Right. So really weird to see a Mystique with no shape change. But even so, still a very powerful and cool Mystique. And for only 55 points, she's very similar, except she does lose 1 on her defense and on her speed value. So 55 points, definitely still worth playing as a strong character, but 105 points gives you a lot more options for Krakoan Revival. So really, really cool. I like that those are 2 almost completely different reasons to play the character for those kinds of point values. It's got the X-Men and Brotherhood of Mutants team ability, which is nice. Really cool Mystique. And then they go on to show some sculpts from some of the other characters in the set and the Fast Forces. But that's pretty much the rest of the previews today. So, as always, let me know what you guys think about all these figures coming up in this next set. And which one's your favorite? I am really liking pretty much all of them. I'm really liking the rally mechanic. Let me know what you guys think about that as well. I think it get pretty crazy. We haven't seen any yet that have the blue or the green background for friendly attacks or all attacks. I imagine the ones that are going to be for all attacks are going to be for the higher rarity figures or just for powers that aren't going to be too overwhelmingly powerful, since they are going to be gaining dice basically every single turn between all the attacks going on. And again, with the blue ones for your own friendly attacks, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of things they can do as well, because you're going to be able to potentially get a die from that on your turn from your own attack that somebody else made, and then maybe use that in some other type of attack in some kind of way. So we'll have to see how that all plays out, but so far with the red ones and getting the 5s for Blades, Impervious, and Regen, I think is really, really awesome. Adds a whole new fun to the game, you know what I mean? The whole new mechanic is always fun, and it's just a really cool one. And something that's not super overpowered, and something that's not even really necessary if you're a newer player and you don't understand that. You can practically ignore it altogether and still play the character. They still work fine, and once you kind of learn what that can do, then you can really step up your game and use a whole other level of strategy. I think it's a really cool mechanic, and I'm super looking forward to it. Super excited for another X-Men set, although I am probably even more excited for the next set, which is going to be Avengers Empire. So that's going to be super awesome. But anyway, let me know what you guys think of all that. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button for me. It does help out a lot. And don't forget to click that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. And if you guys would like to help support the channel even more, there's links in the description for our Patreon, so you can feel free to check that out and see your name here in the credits with all of our awesome Patreon supporters. Thanks so much to them. And yeah, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, this has been Heroclix Headquarters, signing off.